Adventurer, this is your lucky day, where once the Dread Lady sent my pitiful brother to convey her words to you. This time, Lyranth has sent her true prophet, me. I bear a message from my lovely and powerful mistress. Listen and be enlightened. The Dread Lady requires a mortal's perspective. She finds the situation merely curious, but says it has apocalyptic consequences for our plane of existence. Congratulations, mortal. She has chosen you, and she promises compensation if you survive. Calm, I suppose. But I have faith in Lyranth, and she seems to have faith in you. I'll mark the destination on your map. Plus, I secured transportation. The regal, sweet daffodil. Oh, and take this pendant. You'll need it when you get there. Sweet daffodil will whisk you directly to the location. Once there, you must get past the creatures that roam the place to find Lyranth's hidden lair. The pendant will alert you when the time comes to use it. Then, just follow the trail of energy. Isn't it obvious? The pendant contains an epiphany blood ruby. It tingles when it senses residual portal magic. Use it, and it will lead you to Lyranth's lair. How ironic. She chose you to assist her. Not her prophet, but you. A heathen adventurer. Yes, I am aware of your relationship with my mistress. It may not be as intimate as mine, but she does seem to have a certain fondness for you. Still, we must not use her name so casually. Enemies abound and mortals become skittish so easily. Oh, not in any romantic or mortal interpretation of the word. Not even in the way a child is fond of a puppy or kitten. Dremora aren't like us. You must have realized that by now. But my mistress finds you interesting. Yes, that's the word. A group of Dagonists, known as the Order of the Waking Flame, has been interfering in my mistress's activities of late. They are of no real concern to her, but I don't want to attract their attention. I suggest you take similar precautions.
Blade. Remove the blade. Damn enchanted blade. I'll need to figure out how they were able to use it to trap me. But first, we need to talk. Ah, little mortal. Your timing is impeccable as always. Of course, if you had arrived just a few moments earlier, I might not have wound up with that damn blade stuck in my chest. Must I say it? That the Dremora you know and admire had a lapse in judgment? That she failed to take her surroundings into account when she opened her portal? Very well, little mortal. I erred, and the Waking Flame took advantage of the opportunity. The Order of the Waking Flame, to be precise. Fanatics devoted to Mehrunes Dagon, the Daedric Prince of Destruction. 2 of the cultists followed before the portal closed and surprised me. Incapacitated me with that enchanted blade. Quite the opposite. The blade carries a unique enchantment I've never encountered before. It paralyzed me. Gave them the time they needed to portal in others and ransack the place. Quickly, check my coffer. Make sure the velvet pouch is still safe. It's what the velvet pouch contains that matters. I'm still attempting to ascertain its purpose, but since the Dagonists want it, it must be important. My coffer rests on the nearby pedestal. Check on it while I examine this accursed blade. Why do mortals insist on receiving every detail, no matter how insignificant or profound, before they accomplish the task at hand? Apocalyptic. Just what you might imagine where the Daedric Prince of Destruction is concerned. Dremora difficult to kill, and that's doubly true where I'm concerned. Besides, we don't actually die, not as mortals do. Our essence simply returns to oblivion, and we are reconstituted. How long that takes varies. The blade was more prudent. The Dagonists went great lengths to forge a blade capable of trapping a Dremora inside its incapacitated body. Instead of simply slaying this form and risking I would return too quickly, they chose to entrap me. I need to study the magic to be sure, but I don't think so. An enchantment of that magnitude is complex and requires a multitude of resources. I doubt they have other such blades just lying around and ready to use. I will be more cautious, however. It's gone, isn't it? Search the rest of my lair. Find the cultist I wounded before the blade brought me low.
Get back, you fetcher!
The Dremora.
I knew I delivered a killing blow. Surprised he made it this far before collapsing. Search the body and retrieve my stolen item. Show me what you found, mortal. Well, little mortal? Did you recover the item that maggot stole from my coffer? Was it in one of his pockets, as I suspected? Let me see that. This letter names the maggot I killed. Devastator Rulin. And it mentions Greenshade. I wonder what they're doing in that miserable place. Indeed. My relic. When I learned that the cult wanted it, I decided to acquire it before they could. I covered my tracks, but apparently not well enough. There isn't much to tell. I have yet to determine the relic's purpose or function. I was just preparing to study it when the cult invaded my lair. No matter. The letter tells us where to find the Dagonists. I'll open a portal. I shall never get used to Nirn's smell. Come, mortal. We have plans to discuss. So much greenery and animal life. How do you mortals stand it? Never mind. Rhetorical question. Let us go deal with the Daganists and retrieve the relic they took from my lair. The note you discovered contains the answer. Where umbrage creeps. It can only refer to one place in this region. Shadows Crawl. I have no doubt we'll find the Daganists near there. The Daganists use portal magic. I can smell its residue on the air. The pendant that Rogatina gave you. It can be used to follow traces of portal magic in the area. Right here. Simply use the pendant and follow the trail of the residual magic. Then use it again once the trail turns cold. We must retrieve the relic they stole from me. I shall pursue my own investigation and meet you once we locate the cultists.
Laura, how did she overcome the blade?
Never mind that. Get in, and I'll close the portal.
I don't think so. A simple spell will keep the portal open. Mortal, this way. I expected Dagon bootlickers to have grander accommodations than a simple cave. Look around and find my relic, mortal. I assume this cave serves as a base for the Waking Flame. Not very impressive, truth be told. Come, let us find whatever hole those cultists used to store their valuables. I want the relic back in my possession before the next clan fear cause. Search the area. Leave no stone unturned. We must retrieve the relic they stole from me. I hear voices up ahead. It must be the cultists.
Then on to Oblivion to see the Cataclysm in action. Hail, Dagon!
The Daganists. No better than Daydrats hiding in the bowels of these caves.
Such a more. Coming here was a mistake!
Finally! Search the camp and find my relic, little mortal.
We're almost done here. Then on to Oblivion to see the Cataclysm in action. Hail, Dagon!
Curious drawings. Definitely mechanical. But what was that about transforming Daedra? Intriguing. So this Sister Seldina wants my relic. And she provided directions on how to use it. Interesting. Well done, mortal. You found my relic. Give it to me. A letter that conveniently lays out the cult's plans, schematics for some strange device, and my relic. Not bad for a day's labor. These items tell me much about what the Daganists are up to. That this Sister Seldina had the audacity to order the cultists to steal my relic. And she gave them the damn blade that incapacitated me. She calls the relic a portal key, claims it leads to some sort of base in Oblivion. Yes, from which they plan to unleash disasters upon your world. I suspect it has something to do with these schematics. A diagram for some sort of device they call the Cataclysm. It has some purpose regarding Daedric transformation. Intriguing. My minion had better have completed the preparations I assigned her. Come.
Attack! Coming here was a mistake, Lyranth.
Mistress, the adventurer approaches.
We got lucky, little mortal. The letter we found indicated that Sister Seldina wanted the portal key brought to her after the cultists recovered it. For whatever reason, that didn't happen. Perhaps they were waiting for Devastator Rulin to return. Yes, and whose corpse now rests before us. He will serve my purpose as well, I think. Time enough for that later. For now, take this. I understand that your kind expect such treats after performing clever tricks for your betters. Questions about the Order of the Waking Flame still linger, little mortal, and the danger posed to your plane of existence hasn't abated. We can still help each other if you are willing. Before we make use of the portal key, we must complete our own preparations. Then we can find the cult's base in Oblivion and determine their plans for the Cataclysm. You must acquire the root of a fluster fume plant and a tincture of befuddlement. The relic opens a portal to Oblivion, most likely the Deadlands. Regardless, we can't just stroll in and expect them to reveal their plans. I'll use those items to create a potion to fool them. It will make you appear to be the corpse lying here. Fluster fume plants grow nearby, southeast in the caves of Camp Gushnikbar. As for the tincture of befuddlement, I believe Orion the alchemist may have one at the outpost south of Bramble Beach. Return here when you have acquired both. No, it will make you look like the dead cultist when he was still among the living. That's the intent, anyway. I am not much of an alchemist, but I believe I can make this work. Mortal flesh is much more malleable than you would imagine.
You heard the Dread Lady? Get on with your mission. I'm I'm quite certain she'll provide me with something even more tantalizing to accomplish. Something truly befitting a prophet of my status. You'll see. Right! Exactly! I ask myself that very same question all the time. It even keeps me up at night. But in the end, the answer I come to is always the same. Lyranth is perfect in every way, and I can't fathom her reckonings. Well, not by responding to a notice on a job board, if that's what you're asking. My brother and I sought knowledge, a higher purpose. When Lyranth appeared to us and demanded we tell her where to find a sweet roll, we knew we'd found our calling. How else would you refer to it? Lyranth summoned me, and I responded. Now I hear her words and share them with the world. Well, clandestinely. Some people don't respond well to outright worship of Daedric entities.
Some secrets are meant to remain buried, and those are the ones I love to dig up. When tomb raiders or dungeon looters need help with arcane lore, they call upon me. I've never met a secret I couldn't solve.
The tincture is ready. But are you sure you want to deal with that woman?
That woman is very powerful, and I've enjoyed my discussions with her. What does she call herself? A prophet? So, what brings you to our little outpost, traveler? If you're looking for something specific, I must warn you that my alchemical stocks are severely limited at this point in time. Ah, you must be another one of the Dread Lady's followers. I've had a number of pleasant conversations with her prophet, Rogatina, and I even got to meet the Dread Lady once. She mentioned she might have need of such a tincture, so I brewed one up. No disrespect intended, but I was hoping she'd come to pick it up herself. I so looked forward to basking in her glorious presence again. Ah well, perhaps next time. Here you go, and don't bother about the cost. It's a gift for the Dread Lady.
Off we go!
Just in time, little mortal. Place the root and the tincture in the cauldron. The root you found was a perfect specimen, and the tincture's the right shade of distraction. The potion should work perfectly now. Of course. Wheels within wheels and all that. After you drink the potion and disguise yourself as a waking flame cultist, I will pretend to be your prisoner. Not only are you returning with the portal key, you're bringing them a gift. Me. Devastator Rulin, the worm who led the craven attack on my lair. He had the good fortune of dying by my hand before his associate incapacitated me with that damn blade. You will pretend to be the cultist, and I shall pretend to be your prisoner. Sister Selna's letter explained how to align the segments of the portal key. I shall set it accordingly and open a doorway to whatever realm the cult is using as a base. You drink from the cauldron and step through. Then our charade begins. The disguise is perfect. Now, I shall activate the portal key. Then, step through and assume your role. I shall do the same. Definitely not Nern. Let's look around. This is Fargrave. Interesting. We must find the Daganists and determine what they're doing here. This obscure corner of Oblivion is known only as Fargrave. I certainly didn't expect the portal key to lead us here. I wouldn't have expected you to. The inhabitants prefer their privacy. It's a realm without a prince, which gives them a modicum of freedom. And it's a crossroads of sorts. A way station between Nern and the rest of Oblivion. Once you find your way to Fargrave, the paths through Oblivion become easier to navigate. Daedra and mortals alike can be found here, engaging in trade on a planar level. I begin to grasp why the Waking Flame have set up operations here. With no prince, the accords that make it harder for other realms to Nern do not apply. Once they learn the way, with relics such as the portal key, the Waking Flame can move through Fargrave with impunity to reach Nern and the Deadlands. Not for any reason that won't give you nightmares, little mortal. Now, let's find the cultists so you can present your prisoner. Then we shall learn what we can about the cult's plans and the true purpose of the Cataclysm.
Devastator Rulin? Is that you? We fear the Dremora killed you, and who's that beside you? Is that Lyranth the Dremora? I'm impressed, Devastator. I didn't imagine your mission would yield such notable results. Indeed, and the Fargrave Cataclysm could use a new Daedric entity. For the next test course, I'll let you present her to Sister Seldina personally. Right through that door. I'm sure Sister Seldina will want to hear all about your mission. And we've yet to attempt to use the Cataclysm on a Daedra of Lyranth's caliber. I expect the results will be quite informative.
So, the mortal returns from its mission, and it brings a prisoner. How unexpected. and I assumed Lyranth was more capable. I would never allow myself to be captured by one such as you. Still, Nokvros may want to question her before the next test. Does Sister Seldina not teach her Devastators anything of import? Volkina's Nokvros is a favorite of Lord Dagon, sent here to ensure Seldina doesn't mangle the Cataclysm project. Such endeavors are too vital to leave completely in mortal hands. You're a mortal, but do you have to be so naive? Sister Seldina has her place, and she will keep it for as long as she proves worthy. When she no longer serves a meaningful purpose, Nokvros will take action. Until then, step carefully, Devastator.
After the failure at the Dread Cellar, your Fargrave Cataclysm must perform as
Devastator, you honor me. How can a lowly acolyte serve you? The Cataclysm initiative proceeds apace. Sister Seldina continues to make adjustments and improvements with every version of the device. I understand we're about to witness a new demonstration. I can't wait to see it perform as intended. The ambitions? Another sect within the Order is dealing with that. Our mission is to perfect the Cataclysts and prepare incarnates to release onto Nirn. Daedra empowered with the energy of living disasters. The destruction will be glorious. Well, as I understand it, both the ambitions and the Cataclysts utilize the same magic and rituals. Lord Dagon never relies on a single path. Ours are just two of his plans for conquering Nirn. Once the Cataclyst is perfected, we'll be rewarded. Is this some sort of test, Devastator? The Cataclysm is our great work, our role, larger purpose of the Order of the Waking Flame. We will use the device to bless Daedra with the power of living disasters, and then unleash them on Nirn.
Devastator Rulin, you've returned. And with a prize, I see. Impressive. We thought for sure that the Dremora got the better of you and your team. I'm almost glad to see we were wrong. Our forces are in place. Soon, Fargrave will belong to the Waking Flame. We will be able to operate openly and without concern. And Sister Seldina has made great strides in perfecting the Cataclysm, no thanks to Volkina's Nokvros. Ally, yes. Friend, not so sure. Like others of his kind, he considers himself the better of mortals such as ourselves. And he barely tolerates that Sister Seldina is in charge of this operation. Sometimes I think he'd love to slaughter us all. The weapons created by the Longhouse Emperors? I suppose they were created using the same techniques we've employed in the Cataclysm, but our device is far superior. Whereas the ambitions are 4 extremely powerful weapons, we can create an army.
Devastator Rulin. I assume the blade did its job? Of course it did. How else could you capture Lyranth the Dremora? She has been a thorn in our side for much too long. Well done. But what about the portal key? Were you able to recover it? A remarkable achievement, Devastator. And fortunate as well.
We're about to perform another test with the Fargrave Cataclyst, and Nokvraz is hesitant to provide me with any more of his precious Daedra. Lyranth should do very nicely. I hope that's not skepticism or sarcasm I hear in your voice, Devastator. I get enough of that from Nokvraz. Despite the setback at the Dread Cellar, I have every faith in the device. Soon we will unleash an army of living disasters upon Nirn. Did your Doombringer tell you nothing? The Cataclyst enhances Daedra, transforms them into incarnates of disasters. First, we take control of this pitiful demiplane. Then, we launch our assault using Fargrave's connections to Nirn. Worthy? It is brilliant. Sentries, take the Dremora and place her in the Cataclyst. Devastator, enter the Cataclyst chamber when you're ready. Then the demonstration will begin. Come, Devastator Rulin. For your excellent service to the Order, I award you with the privilege of activating the Fargrave Cataclyst. Touch the rune and witness the transformative power of the Cataclyst. Lord Dagon's blessing will turn Lyranth into disaster incarnate.
Do what you must, Flea. Lyranth is ready. I have seen enough. I will be free.
The Dremora damaged the Cataclyst. Duke of Fire, destroy them!
Shut it down! We must preserve the Cataclyst!
Deal with the Havocrel, mortal. I'll open a portal back to Nirn.
This is going to be a fight. Let's not make it our last.
Laughable mortals! You have no power here! You will be destroyed for your audacity! Surprisingly competent for a mortal flea.
This device is lost, Selkie. Another failure, you and your lord.
The energy emanating from the Cataclyst is interfering with my magic. We must find a place where I can open a portal. This is far enough. I will open a portal out of this place.
Mistress, you're injured.
Nonsense. Merely a scratch. You did well, little mortal. Sister Saldina and her cultists never suspected a thing, and we returned richer than when we departed. That was never going to happen. My bonds were illusory. And it was a simple enough task to free myself once you activated the Cataclyst. I observed long enough to grasp the workings of the machine. Then I made my escape. We learned that Sister Saldina's faction of the cult has a base in Fargrave, and they plan to conquer that obscure plane of oblivion to use as some sort of staging ground for their nefarious machinations. The power surging through the device carries the tinge of Mehrunes Dagon. It seems it is designed to imbue a Daedra with the energy of a single disaster and transform it into an incarnate. They plan to unleash these horrors on Nirn. Perhaps. Noctvraz seemed to think so. I bought us time to consider, to plan. Sister Saldina can make more such devices, however. Eventually. But did you see? Noctvraz despises Saldina. Perhaps we can use that. And you don't have to. Just know that the cult plans to unleash destruction on your world. Now, I must contemplate. The device, it can change Daedra. I must return to Fargrave. I will summon you when I learn more. Until then, you have my thanks. So many avenues to ponder. Sister Sildina and the Waking Flame, the Cataclysts, Valkanaz, Noctvraz, and Mehrunes Dagon's role in all this. I shall return to Fargrave and see what else I can learn. I'll call upon you when I need you, little mortal. Because that is where Sister Saldina is. The cult has ambitious plans for the Demiplane. We delayed those plans, but we didn't stop them. I will find out what I can and then send for you. Assuming you still want to save your world, that is. Like being in the eye of a storm. A deluge of raging infernos, devastating earthquakes, and apocalyptic floods. The energy would have transformed me had I not acted. I could feel the promise of power, and the strange sensation of change. No, never met him before, but I've heard of him. One of Dagon's fiercest generals. A soldier in his ongoing quest to satisfy his insatiable hunger for destruction. It appears he was ordered to work with Sister Saldina, and I don't think he likes it.
Why are you still here? The Dread Lady is done with you for now, and she needs her rest. If she requires your assistance in the future, I'm sure she'll find a way to get a message to you. Now go.
Wait to take a load off at the inn.
Selling, buying, trading, right here.
We like it quiet. Understand? No sudden moves now.